Good morning, girls. Hey, I'll give you a minute or two to join me live. I'm excited to do this workout with you guys today. It's gonna be total body. We're gonna use some dumbbells, but that's it, okay? So all you're gonna need is just a pair of dumbbells, maybe something light, something heavy. That way you can kind of go between the two depending on how you feel. But I'm going to walk you through the brand new dynamic warm-up for the month of August, which will be good to do together. And we'll also, I also want to teach you some of the new exercises that you're going to see on your August workout. So that's going to be helpful to do together too. So let's get started. We're going to head over to the wall with the dynamic warm-up first, and we'll start with leg swings, okay? So meet me over there. Standing up really tall, hand on the wall for support. I want you to swing your inside leg, keeping your foot flexed and your leg perfectly straight. Don't let it rock your torso around. Nice big swings. You can get bigger and bigger as you go. You should be feeling a bit of a stretch through your hip flexor and your hamstring as you go. Let's flip it around and do the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, good posture, shoulders back, keeping your foot flexed. Nice big swings. We're just starting to get some blood flowing into the hip joint. We're going to use our hips a lot today. Face the wall, now go side to side with your legs. So both hands are on the wall. You're swinging your leg across and then open. Foot stays flexed. Let's switch legs. Across and open, make sure that your foot is staying flexed and your leg is nice and straight. You should be feeling this kind of inner thigh, outer thigh, but not a really deep, hard, big stretch. Good job. Okay, so from there, feet together. Stand up with your thumbs pointing up. I want you to pull one thumb down and back and the other arm high. So you're creating a diagonal line, and then bring it back together. So these are our diagonal arm swings. Thumbs point to each other and then pull apart, pressing your chest through, then rounding your shoulder blades. These feel so good for your posture. Make sure you're not side bending. Let's switch directions. Pull apart on this side. Keep your neck long. You should be feeling this only in your shoulder blades, not up in your neck, okay? Big deep breath. Let's go one more. Good job. From here, I want you to face kind of the length if you're using a yoga mat. So kind of stand at the back of your mat. We're going to reach really high overhead. And then you can keep your knees slightly bent as we're hinging all the way over your feet. If you feel comfortable, we're going to walk it out into a tall plank position, lowering your hips into place. Nice firm hold, shoulders right over hands. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Knees can be bent. Push through your legs to reach all the way up high. Bring it down again. Knees can be slightly bent. Walk it out into your inchworm. Feel the plank. Walk it back in. Push through your legs to stand up high. Let's do it again. We've got two more of these. Hinging over, walk it out. Feel the nice flat plank position. Shoulders down and back. Walk it back in. Push through your legs to stand up. Last one here. Fold over. Walk it out. Feel the plank. And from this position, we're actually just going to set your knees down on the floor and feel your quadruped position. Okay, so you're on your hands and knees. You might need to bring your hands back just a little bit so they're right underneath your shoulders. Take one knee, and we're going to swing it in a big circle, trying to not tip to the side or arch your back too much, but we're going to move that knee in 4 circles in one direction. See if you can get a little bigger with each circle, and then let's switch directions. Clockwise and then counterclockwise. Let's switch legs. Set that knee on the floor. Kick it up behind you, almost like a donkey kick, and then bring it around. See if you can focus on almost trying to scrape the edges of your hip socket. Lots of motion here. Let's switch directions. Bringing your knee all the way up and around. 2 more. Last one here. Good job. Go ahead and untuck your toes so your feet lay flat, and you're gonna rock all the way back so you're sitting on your heels. I want you to plant one hand out in front of your knees, right between where your knees are. Don't have it off to the side, have it central. We're gonna take the other hand and reach it really high up behind you. Trying to open your chest up. Don't keep your chest collapsed because that's gonna put all the tension in your neck. If you lift your chest up, pushing your chest forward, we'll get a good stretch. Let's bring that arm back down and do it again. 2. Let's try to reach a little more. 3, 4, and switch sides. So plant your other hand down, reach it up. Big rotation. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good job. Go ahead and climb back up onto your hands and knees, and we're going to see if we can position one foot forward between your hands. If you need to be up on blocks or have your hand like on a coffee table, you can. We're going to pick the back knee up, so now we're in a deep lunge position, right? Okay, so I want you to sink into it, feeling your hips lowering towards the floor, and then we're going to rock back, straightening your front leg out. You might not be able to get it all the way straight, and that's okay. Rock back into that deep lunge, then kick that front leg out straight again. Sink deep into your lunge. Each time we want to go just a little bit deeper. Kick it out straight. This is our last one here. Sink deep, and then straight. I'm even going to rock onto my heel and really feel that hamstring stretch. Good. Put that foot down. We're going to switch feet. Step your back foot in. Transfer your weight to your other foot. Sink deep into your lunge first, and then kick it back. Sink deep in, almost touching that back knee to the floor, and then straighten your front leg out. Sink it deep in again. You're going to feel this nice stretch through your hip flexors. Straighten it out. You can rock up onto your heel if you want. We've got one more of these. Press it forward and deep, and then rock it back. Bend that front knee again, and we're actually going to swivel to the side. So now our feet are open wide and planted parallel. Heels should be just a slightly wider than your toes. We're going to sink deep into your side split squat. So this hip should go really far back. Knee is staying right above your ankle. Switch sides. Switch sides. Reach your arms forward almost as like a counterbalance for your hip. Your arms go really far forward, your hip goes really far back. Pushing through your outer edge of your foot. Let's go one more each way. Last one here. Good. Go ahead and stand up. Feet come together. We're going to do lateral skater hops next. So balancing from one foot to the other. And you can make these as big and dynamic as you want, or kind of small and careful. If you want to just step and work on your one-legged balance, that's fine. Or we can do it more like a leap. Either way, when you land, I need your standing knee bent. I need your hip out behind you because I don't want you to land like this, okay? We're landing in an athletic position. Make sure that your standing knee does not go in or out either, okay? We're going to go 6 per side. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. I'm getting bigger and bigger. 5, 5. Last one's here. 6, and 6. Okay, good job, you guys. That is our warm-up. That is your new warm-up for the month of August. So it's good that we did it together. Hopefully that felt good. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go to the next part. We're going to move on to the next circuit. We're going to focus mostly on core exercises on this next circuit. So start on your back. Grab water if you need to, okay? And then meet me here down on the floor on your back for a bridge. So for our bridge, I actually want you with this bridge to have your feet a little closer together than maybe a normal bridge. Not hip width, but maybe 3 or 4 inches apart from each other, your feet. Okay, I want you to do a pelvic tilt, so tuck your tailbone under, Lift up into your bridge, and then you're going to transfer all of your weight to one foot as you march with the other foot. So your other knee is coming in towards your chest. Your foot has to stay flexed. Set that foot down, transfer weight to that foot. Try to keep your tailbone still tucked under, pelvic tilt. And keep marching, alternating sides. If you're maintaining a good pelvic tilt and your glutes are nice and tight, you should feel like you're not tipping from side to side. You could be doing these super sloppy and really not get a whole lot out of these marching bridges if you don't focus on your glutes and keeping things really level. Good pressure. Let's go one more each side. And then slowly lower it down. Okay, from there we're going to flip over and do a regular plank. So I want you to find your forearms parallel. Tuck your feet out behind you. Press your heels back really firm. Settle into your plank by bringing your tailbone down. Shoulder blades are firm. Spread apart. Neck is long. Chin is tucked. Big deep breath. Another inhale and exhale. Glutes are tight. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Set the knees down with control. Climb back up onto your hands and knees. From there, I want you to grab one of your dumbbells. This could be a light one, okay? I'm going to use a 20, but for you it could be a 10 or 15 or an 8 even. We're doing a chopping lift from a half kneeling position. So we've got one knee down, one foot forward. I want you to make sure that you're not arching your tailbone out behind you. Keep your tailbone tucked, okay? As you do this, you might even feel a bit of a stretch through your hip flexor. That's good. Grab your dumbbell on the fat ends, okay? Tailbone is tucked. Everything is lined up nicely. Your hip is not cocked out to one side or the other. Start with the dumbbell down by your hip on the down side, okay? Then we're going to keep your elbows bent as we bring your dumbbell up by your opposite shoulder, but make sure you're not twisting or arching. Keep your torso and legs totally motionless. Grip with everything you need to grip with to make sure that the only thing moving is your arm. Keep your neck relaxed. Let's go one more. And switch legs. So set the other knee down, other leg comes forward, tuck your tailbone. Make sure your abs are engaged, glutes are engaged from behind, and you've got some pressure coming in from the sides to keep you from going side to side. Start with it down at your hip, bring it up to your opposite shoulder. Really engaging, squeezing your abs, squeezing your glutes, keeping your tailbone tucked. Make sure that you're not twisting or arching. Do your very, very best to not let anything move. Last one here. Good, set the weights down. Let's go back to the marching bridge. We're gonna go through that circuit again. So feet about 3 or 4 inches apart. In a good bridge position, tuck your tailbone first. Feel your glutes engaged. Push your hips up. Transfer all your weight to one foot and march. Weight goes to the other foot. March. Keep your core pulled in tight. Glutes are engaged. Check in with your neck too. Make sure that your neck is really relaxed. Keep going. Keep your pelvis tucked in. I don't want your low back to start arching. Good. We're going to go one more on each side. And gently set it down. Flip over into your plank. I'm going to give you an option if you want to make your regular plank more difficult. Instead of your elbows being right under your shoulders, you can position your elbows out in front of your shoulders and do the same plank. So it's called an extended plank. So let's find your plank position. Tailbone is going to tuck under, lower into position, shoulders right above elbows. If you want to make it more difficult, Walk your elbows further forward. Keep your shoulder blades down and back. Big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you're extended, walk your elbows back, and then everybody set your knees down. Good job. It's amazing how much more difficult that can make it when your contact points are just further away from each other. But the most important thing is that you're not losing your technique when you go to that position. It should look exactly the same. Often what I see when you go into that extended position is that the shoulders start to hunch more. You have to still keep your shoulder blades down and back. It's really important. Okay, let's do our chopping lift again. One knee is down, tuck your tail, make sure you're really firm. Start with it down by one hip, up and over the opposite shoulder. Let's go 8 of these. 2, 3, no twisting. 4, my down leg is working really hard. 5, 6, 7, squeeze with the abs. There's 8, switch legs. The more muscles you get involved on this one, the more steady you're gonna feel. Tuck your tailbone under, dumbbell is down by one hip, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8. Good job. Set the weight down, grab a little bit of water, we're gonna move on to more. You guys good? Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good. So you're gonna see some of those core exercises in your August workouts. So it'll be good to have done them already. You'll know some of the little cues and techniques before you do them. Okay, grab your dumbbells. I want you to grab your lighter ones. And we're gonna have the weights up on your shoulders with the ends of them pointing forward, elbows pointing forward. Make sure that your elbows don't drop. Keep your elbows up. Find a good squat width. We're gonna sit down into a squat, push up, and then just push one arm overhead. Okay, sit down again, stand up, push the other arm overhead. Sit down, stand up, push, sit down, stand up, push. Make sure that as you're pushing, you're only moving your arm and your hand. Your neck should not be scrunching. One more here. Push. Good job. Let the weights go. We're going to trade out our lighter weights for something a lot heavier. This one could be like maybe your heaviest weight yet. I've got a 30, I actually have a 35-pound kettlebell, but for now, I'm just going to show you this with my 30-pound dumbbell. Set your dumbbell upright so it's sitting vertically on the floor. And I want you to kind of step up behind it, not so you're directly above it, but maybe that your toes are in line. Your toes are touching the same line and the dumbbell is touching that same line, okay? So your toes are in line with the dumbbell. We're gonna hinge over, pushing your booty out behind you, nice flat back. I want you to grab around the cap of that dumbbell. Knees are slightly bent, and all we're gonna do is pick it up and push the hips forward. Legs are gonna be straight at the top, and we're just gonna reverse that motion. Set the dumbbell right back down to where it started from. You should be in this nice bent over position. Don't be rounded here. Make sure that your chest is lifted, booty's out. Let's do that again. Drive through your legs to push yourself up and set it right back down. The moment it touches the ground, go again. Set it back down. Keep your body nice and flat through your torso. Push through your legs. Set it down. Push through your legs. Set it down. Make sure at the top that you're not arching. Just come to vertical. Okay, we're gonna go 3 more of these. Push, set it down. We're calling these sumo style deadlifts. Okay, last one. And set it down. Okay, we're done with the big guy. Let's go back to your lighter one. We just need one right now. We're gonna find a good bent over position, which we just practiced, okay? It's the same position as your deadlift. So find that again, almost like you're getting ready to pick that dumbbell off the floor. So we're in almost a horizontal torso. I want you to spin the dumbbell around so that your palm faces forward as if you were gonna do a bicep curl. I want you to slide your shoulder blade back first and then draw your elbow back. So it's an underhand grip style row. Slide your shoulder blade back, then draw the elbow back. Let it all out. Shoulder blade slides back, elbow comes back. Let's go 2 more. Shoulder blade, pull. Shoulder blade, pull. Okay, let it down. The reason I'm having you do the shoulder blade first is because with these ones in particular, if we just pull, you're gonna be more likely to just jam your shoulder like forward like that, and we don't want that. I want you to almost really think about keeping your shoulder blade open. Let's try it on the other side. Bent over position, spin your palm forward so it's facing forward. Shoulder blade first, and then pull the elbow back. Let it all out. Shoulder blade, pull. Let it out. Shoulder blade, pull. Let it out. Shoulder blade, pull. Let's go 1 more. Pull. Good job. Nice work. Okay, I'm going to teach you a new kind of lunge. If this lunge does not agree with you, if you don't want to try lunges, if it doesn't feel comfortable, instead of this lunge, you can do a staggered squat where one foot is just slightly more forward than the other foot. But we're going to try a diagonal lunge where you're actually stepping forward, but instead of coming straight forward, we're going to come to the side. I don't want you to just like turn your body and go that way. I actually want this step to be almost like a wide step. So when you land, your foot is still pointing straight forward, okay? And then you push off, and then we're going to try going the other direction, okay? So let's try that. If you're not comfortable doing lunges, that's okay. Do the staggered squat. So let's try 4 per side for 8 total. Okay, no weight, just to practice it. We're going to come forward and then push off. See if you can just keep your whole body pointing straight forward still. Here's 2. And I'm getting my back knee to kind of touch the floor. 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4. Not bad. Nice job, you guys. Okay, our final exercise here. We're going to do a burpee, but we're going to try to spin around in the air as we do a burpee. Don't freak out. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're going to do a classic burpee out in, but when we jump up, we're going to spin so we're now facing the other direction. If the idea of doing a burpee freaks you out, don't worry. What you can do instead is just feet back, in, stand up, and spin around. Sit back down, put the other foot out, in, stand up, spin around. If the spinning makes you crazy, just remove the spinning altogether. Either way, whatever version you want to do, let's go 6 total, okay? I'm going to do the jumping version. Ready, go. Out, in, spin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Okay, grab a quick sip of water and we're going to go through that circuit again. This time, now that you know them, we're going to move a little quicker. You guys doing good? Feeling good? Do you remember where we started with this circuit? It's the squat with the single arm press. Let's grab our dumbbells. We're going 6 total of these. So 6 squats, so it's only 3 pushes per side. Make sure that when you're pushing, you're staying in line or just a tiny bit more out. I don't want your arms totally wide like this, like a regular military press. I actually want them tucked in, okay? It's gonna keep your shoulders a little happier especially if you have vulnerable shoulders, okay? So grab your dumbbells, set them up on your shoulders. Remember, have them in line like I mentioned. We're gonna sit down and back, keeping your knees right over your feet. Stand up, push with one arm without tipping your body. Do it again. Other arm. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one here. 6. Good. Let's set up for that sumo deadlift again. Grab your big guy or whatever you have available. Set it so that it's right kind of at the line of your toes. We've got your hips out behind you. And it also helps if you think of kind of drawing your core in together, almost like your rib cage trying to meet your hip bones. Just a bit of engagement before you tip over. And then we're gonna push through your legs to rise up. 1, tap it to the floor, go. 2, 3, squeezing your glutes to the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8. Set it back down, good job. Put it out of the way, grab one dumbbell, we're gonna try our rows. The underhand grip with that little extra shoulder blade retraction. Bent over position, just like we were just in for your deadlift. Palms are facing forward. Slide your shoulder blade down and back first, then pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6. Good. Push through your hips to stand up. Sometimes it's helpful to take a break in between sides because that bent over position can be a little tough. Let's find it again. Other side now. Shoulder blade, then pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, 5, squeeze with your abs, 6. Good job. Okay, we're gonna try our diagonal lunges again. If they went well for you last time and you felt solid and confident, let's try to add a goblet weight. So grab your weight, hold it at your chest. Keep your thumbs touching your chest. We're gonna try 5 per side this time. So step forward at an angle, push off. 1. Remember, this can be a staggered squat, keeping your feet in place if you want. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Great job. Okay, get your weight out of the way. Let's try our burpees again. Pick your version. You can do just the tap back and stand up, so completely removing the jumping. Or if you like the challenge, let's try it as a 180-degree, spinning around, jump. Let's go for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! Great job. Okay, grab a quick sip of water and your foam roller if you've got it handy. Take a deep breath. And we're going to walk through some foam rolling together to do a nice cool down. I'm going to use my Rolga, which, as you guys know, if you know me, this is like my favorite thing in the world. It really gets into those spots, but if you're new to foam rolling, it might be too tough. You might be too tender. Okay, let's begin on the shins, whatever roller you've got. Shins on the roller, pick your toes up off the floor. You're just in this kneeling position, rolling forward and back along the line of your shins. You want to focus mostly on that, like, the meaty part of your shin, right? Where your muscles are. It's your anterior tibialis muscle. Let's switch now to your quads. Come down on your elbows. Rolling from the very top of your hip all the way to your knee. Let's do one more swipe just like that. Okay, let's see if we can transfer more weight to the left leg. And leaning more on the left leg, kind of right at the top, right where the hip flexor is, where your hip bone meets your thigh. Quick little rolls right there. Now bring it all the way down that leg. Let's try that same thing on the right leg. Right at the top of that right hip. Getting into your hip flexor. And then drag it all the way down that leg now. Let's turn to your IT band. So laying on the side, top leg crosses in front. And we're gonna roll all the way from your hip bone to your knee. Make sure your bottom leg is straight and in line with your body. Don't have it kicked forward. Let's turn around now and do the other thigh. Same thing, IT band on this side. Leg is out straight. Your top leg can be supporting your weight. If you want more tension or more pressure, you can stack your legs. Let's go ahead and sit on the roller now. Let's sit on the right glute cheek, okay? Cross your right leg up and over your left, and we're rolling in kind of a circular motion along that whole glute. Digging in kind of on the outside edge, on the bottom edge. Just becoming far more aware of your hip socket and what's going on in there. Let's switch sides now, lean to the left glute. Cross your left leg up. Once again, same thing on this side, big circular motions. So hopefully you guys broke a little bit of a sweat today. Not a lot, maybe. I know you guys a lot of you are wrapping up week 4 of your July workouts and kind of getting ready to do the August workouts, and this is a good time to kind of transition slowly, making sure that you're taking it slow. Okay, I'm doing my upper back now. I didn't want to pummel you. You guys are ready for a week 1. The nice, easy-going week 1s where the focus is really just on learning and getting to know, becoming more familiar with the exercises. The purpose of week 1 and week 2 is not to push it crazy, crazy hard. Your body needs a bit of a break, okay? Let's come back onto your knees. One knee down. We're going to tuck your tailbone under, press forward into a hip flexor stretch. We're going to feel that nice stretch here. Let's extend that same arm up and side bend just a little bit away from that hip. I don't want you to be side bending so much that your back is arched. I just want a slight side bend so you feel that pull a little deeper. If you have the balance and the ability, we can rock up and grab that foot behind you into a quad stretch here. One of my favorite stretches of all time. The trick with this one is to still try to keep your tailbone tucked under. Gently release, kind of lean forward to release. That way you're not like right on your kneecap. Let's switch legs. Tuck your tailbone under, press forward. Reach your arms up. So we're targeting 2 hip flexor muscles here, your psoas and your iliacus. And you've probably heard them talked in combination as the ilio-psoas. It's actually 2 separate muscles. But when we do this really focused hip flexor stretch, that's what we're working on. And then if you want to add on and grab your foot behind you, keeping your tailbone, now we're targeting the rectus femoris muscle, which is a quad and hip flexor muscle. It crosses both joints. Go ahead and let that leg go. Climb all the way down so you're sitting on your bum. Legs out in front of you. You can kind of pull your flesh out so you don't feel tucked under. Sit up really tall to start with, kind of pressing your chest through. Toes are flexed. You're trying to pull your toes back towards your shins really, really, really hard. And then we're going to try to keep that tension through your legs as we lean forward. See if you can grab your toes. If you want, you can use a strap or a towel or even a long sleeve t-shirt to help pull you in. We're getting this nice stretch down your hamstrings and even into your calves. Big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's release it. I want you to extend your arms open, really big, pushing your chest forward, so an active chest stretch here. Let's see if we can spin your shoulders one way and then spin them the other way. And then reach your arms straight up overhead and fold forward again. And climb back up. So we could be spending a lot more time stretching there, but I think I'm going to call it good there. Hopefully you feel like we touched everything. We worked on everything. You learned some new things, and it felt really good. If you're like me, you might have broken a little bit of a sweat too. All right, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me for today's live workout. I will make sure that this gets posted to the full-length workout video tab in the members hub. So you will always be able to access this workout there, or even here on Facebook too. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your Saturday. See you later.